Hello, everyone. This is MG, your career queen. I'm here to make your job search easier and faster. And I'm also here to help you with your business development and to make that quicker and more profitable, I guess. But I'm glad you're watching. And today I just wanted to share a couple of different things. Um, the first thing I wanted to share was about my first job. Just to change things up a little bit, I thought it might be fun to talk about my background a little bit. For those of you who don't know, I have almost 20 years experience in human resources, training and recruiting. I've worked in corporate America and I've also worked um, independently. I've worked as a career counselor as well as a generalist, a trainer, a recruiter, not so much benefits, covered that desk if I had to, but it was not my area of expertise. I actually excelled in the area of helping people find the work that they needed to advance their lives. So I actually left human resources because I was tired of firing people. I was tired of writing them up and letting them go. So, but today I want to talk about my first job. My first job, we all have first job stories, but mine starts off when I was 16 years old and I would ask my parents for something. They would always tell me to get a job. You guys probably had the same experience, but that's what they said whenever I asked for something that had absolutely nothing to do with school clothes. And we went shopping just before the beginning of every school year, and we just got the essentials: new shoes, new pants, new dresses, new blouses, new skirts, but we didn't get anything extra. So if I wanted anything outside of school clothes, I had to get it myself. And I couldn't do that until I was working. So when I asked for stuff, my parents would sing this song, go get a job, go get a job, go get a job. So the day I turned 16 was the day that I started working. My first job was my 16th birthday present to, I want to say myself, but it wasn't really to myself. I think it was more to my parents because then they didn't have to worry about me asking them for money for anything. So on my 16th birthday, I started working at McDonald's and I was a cashier. And from time to time, I would work the drive-through or I would make French fries. I don't recall ever having to flip a burger. I don't know why, but I mostly worked the front counter and sometimes drive-through. And like I said, from time to time, I did make French fries, but not very often. I'm not sure why that was, but I have some stories that I wanted to share with you because I just think that it's kind of funny. One of the stories that I wanted to share was that working in drive-through, some interesting things happen sometimes. And one of the things that happened was there was this one time that someone came through the drive-through with a carload of people, and I only know this because of their reaction a little bit later, but someone came through the drive-through and rattled off this order like, you know, boom, 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 super, super fast, all these different things that they wanted, and I was like trying to keep up, and then after he was done, he said, "Can you read that back to me, please?" I was like, jerk. So I read it back to him just as fast, if not faster, than he had delivered it to me, and I didn't miss a single item. So of course, after I did my spiel, I could hear everyone in the car cracking up because he tried to stump me and he didn't. Now that doesn't mean that I was working at McDonald's for many, many years and just got really good at, the keyboard or anything like that. I just didn't like to be embarrassed. I didn't like to be shamed. And this guy was trying to make me look bad in my own drive-through. So I gave him a taste of his own medicine, so to speak. And it was funny, though. We laughed. And there was another time, again, working the drive-through. I don't know what it is about the drive-through, but working the drive-through, someone came through and ordered a sandwich. And I don't know what sandwich they ordered. I don't remember. This was so many years ago, but they ordered a sandwich and they said, I want this, but I don't want any of these things on it. Take off this, take off that, no pickles, no ketchup, no cheese, no whatever. And then can you add like all these other things that were never on this sandwich? And I'm not sure why, but I couldn't do it. I said, that's nowhere near the sandwich that you ordered. It's nowhere near what was intended for that sandwich to be. So I was kind of sarcastic. I kind of had a smart mouth, and I said, this isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way. And I don't know if I shouldn't have said that or not, but I didn't get in trouble. But everybody in the car started laughing, and I was like, ha 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 ha, because Burger King, I don't know if it still is, but I think it is. I don't know. Burger King's, what was it? Their marketing slogan was, have it your way at Burger King. And so, I was like, this isn't Burger King, you can't have it your way. That's McDonald's, for Pete's sake, the sandwich comes with pickles, ketchup, and, cheese. So anyways, that was 34 years ago. I worked for McDonald's, and 34 years ago, I made $3 an hour, and $3 an hour 34 years ago, that was a lot of money. That was a lot of money. My first raise was 10 cents, and so I made $3.10 after working there for like 5 or 6 months. I think it was probably at the 7 or 8 month mark that I decided that I wanted to work someplace else. And I'm not sure if one of my friends was working there and got me the job. And I think that might have been the case. But I don't recall because it was so long ago. But I started working as a photographer for a portrait studio, very famous or popular portrait studio. And that worked for me because I was a creative type. I was always into the arts. And so I left for a job as a photographer where that was more in line with my interest. And I was going to be making $4 an hour. So that was quite a bit more money than I was used to making. So that was exciting. And a couple of the girls that I worked with at McDonald's are like, where are you going? And, what are you going to be doing? And I said, oh, I'm going to be working for, such and such a, photo place. And they're like, oh, wow, okay. What are you going to be doing there? Oh, I'm going to be a photographer. Oh, okay. You like photography. Yeah. And is it going to be more money? And I said, yeah, I'm going to be making $4 an hour. And they were like, whoa, $4 an hour. Like, wow, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. And I was like, yeah, I know. But it was, when you're 16 years old, $4 an hour, $3 an hour, $4, it's your money. You don't have rent to pay. You don't have, bills. You don't have a car payment. It's all your money. So yeah, it was a lot of money for a 16-year-old who never had anything else, any other means of income. And my first raise at McDonald's my first raise at the portrait studio was 25 cents. So I was making $4.25, which was great. There are a lot of good memories there. I did have some friends that I went to high school with who also worked at the portrait studio. And we used to have fun, taking pictures of each other. And we had fun just being as creative as we could be and being kind of crazy and doing things that the portrait studio would never let us do with customers. But we would, do these things with one another. And so we have these huge collections of photographs where we would just play around and, pose each other and do weird stuff. And, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I got fired from that job. And I was eventually fired. I'm not sure how long I worked there. I want to say I worked there for about a year. But I got fired from that job for taking off my shoes during a photo shoot. And so the only reason I share all of this with you is because I just think that we need to not take things so seriously all the time. And we need to find things to laugh about, and we need to remember where we came from, remember where we started. And not everybody has worked in fast food or maybe you started your employment experience, working in retail or something like that. And I've certainly had my fair share of retail experiences as well. And and I've got some stories there too, but McDonald's was my first job. I got my first raise, which was 10 cents. I self promoted by moving from McDonald's to the portrait studio, thereby giving myself another increase in salary to $4 an hour. And then that was also my first and only experience with firing. Um, I'm sure some of you can relate, and for me, it was just a good memory to be able to share right now and to reminisce about. I'm recording this on Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. I am 50 years old, and Kobe Bryant of the LA Lakers died in a helicopter crash 2 days ago. And I'm not a Lakers fan, and I wasn't, like really into Kobe or anything like that. But it was just a really huge shock that, the reaction that everybody has had in Southern California, in California and worldwide, is just like it was devastating because despite his faults and the error of his ways and the things that the mistakes that he made, the things that he did and that weren't so honorable, he did do a lot, I think, for the community, and he was doing a lot. And I think what I liked most about Kobe was his relationship with his 13-year-old daughter, who also died in the helicopter crash. I think that the bond that they had through basketball really just touched my heart. And I'm single and I don't have any children, and I don't have that firsthand experience of what it's like to have children and and love them and whatnot. I do have nieces though, and I do care deeply for them. But it's just really been a sad couple of days, and not too sad, except that about 2 hours after I saw the news about Kobe passing away, I learned that a friend of mine of 35 years, someone that I've known since I was 15 years old and went to high school with, Frank Espinoza. I actually went to my junior prom with him. Within a couple of hours of learning about Kobe passing, I learned that my good friend Frank, had passed away the night before. So he passed Saturday night, the Saturday night before the helicopter crash with Kobe. And so I spent most of the day on Sunday in tears, and I was supposed to get all kinds of work done, and I didn't get anything done that day. And so after beating myself up about not getting done the things that I had planned to get done, and decided to just not be so hard on myself, give myself a break, and just let me feel the feels and eat the ice cream and sleep in, not sleep in my pajamas. Of course, I sleep in my pajamas, but, stay in my pajamas all day if I wanted to. I allowed myself to be sad and, in that space for a short period of time. And so that was, 2 days ago that I got the news of both of those tragic accidents, incidences, and passings, Kobe and then my friend from high school. And yesterday I tried to work, and I was having a hard time getting anything done yesterday as well. But I kept trying, but I also kept allowing myself a little bit of space, a little bit of time to feel the pain of the loss of my friend. And went to bed last night going, okay, I'll try again tomorrow, because I can't stay sad or depressed for too long. I went through my closet looking for a dress to wear to the services, and I don't know that I want to wear the same dress I wore to the last funeral that I went to, which is also the same dress that I wore to a wedding 10 years ago. It's my go-to black dress, and it is 10 years old, and I'm thinking maybe it's time to retire it. But I don't have a lot of black dresses. I have a lot of black clothes, but I don't have a lot of black dresses that are appropriate for something like this. So I'm not sure if I maybe shouldn't wear black and wear something else that I already have, or if I should buy a new black dress. I hate the idea of buying a dress just wear for a one-time, event. I don't want it to become the dress that I bought for my friend's funeral. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm struggling with that a little bit. Went way left on this video, so I apologize, and I'll probably edit this out, but I guess I just needed to talk about some things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you like this channel, if you can relate to anything that I've said in this video, subscribe, comment. What I hope to do in the future is to be able to help people advance their lives, through gainful employment, by finding gainful employment, if that's where you are at in your life, or if you want to build a business and develop multiple streams of income. I've done everything. So I can help you find a job. I can help you write an achievement-based resume. I can tell you how to start your own business, and I can encourage you. I like to think of myself as a chief encourager. So if you need your own rah-rah cheerleader, I can do that too. But you have to subscribe to the channel, and you have to like, and you have to comment, and maybe you can ask me questions. And if you ask questions, I will either answer the questions right then and there, personally, or I can record another video if it's something that needs a little more time. So with all of that said, I do hope that you are all well and happy, and I'll talk to you again soon.